ATL with another.
What up, brother?
What's up? What's up?
You chilling like a villain?
I'm chilling like a villain, brother.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Oh yeah.
When people smack down a little bit, it look like they're stacking up both shows for St. Louis and what you call it. I think they just announced Randy Orton versus Javon Evans for the St. Louis show.
Mm-hmm.
Axiom and Fraser versus A-Town Down Under for the tag team titles for the St. Louis show.
They are really trying.
I respect it. I respect the effort.
Yeah. Looking nice, man. Making it feel like a big deal, which I love. That's what NXT needs, man. Get that big feel. Season premiere, as they call it.
Because right now, it's just NXT, just vibes right now. Like, you got Lola Vice versus JC Jane. And JC Jane's been stuck with this Mean Girls gimmick since, I feel like, 5 years now. 4 years now. She needs a new arc.
Yeah. Hey man. It's the common niche, unfortunately. For some reasons.
Terrible. Well, we 5 minutes late, so we're gonna go ahead and hit this intro. It's a solid episode we got. Siondo will pop in, hopefully, if she didn't fall asleep again.
Uh-oh. Oh, Lord.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, I do. Lord help her. I understand.
Uh, let's hit,
let's,
let's hit this intro. Let's hit this intro.
let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh Unleashed.
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 88 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. And joining me as always is my main man, my right-hand man, the voice of the Unleashed Anthem and the Prince of Botch himself, Mr. Hi-Lite Real. What's good with your brother?
What's up, baby? What's happening?
Yeah. You all right, brother?
About the most part, I'm on a
You
cloud.
good? You good? You tired?
I'm on a cloud.
Oh, you high? You higher than me?
No, I don't smoke. I'm just on
I'm
the cloud.
sober.
I'm fumed. But we're here, and I'm here because I love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
100.
Uh-oh.
I love y'all.
Uh-oh. Hopefully we make his night a little bit better talking about stuff. 'Cause he's going through it right now. Apparently. It's okay. That's
Oh
fine.
no, it ain't going through it.
Oh, okay.
just-
the way you was kind of morbid about vague about it, I was like
No, that's just my way of saying I could be dead right now, literally, like dead. I'm on a cloud. Yeah, I could be in the land of the dead man right now, but I'm here.
Can't we all? I mean, I was almost there a couple of times. You know,
Yeah,
life be life, and sometimes
digging holes and burying souls or whatever that was Tucker used to say.
I don't even think he know what he was saying. That's the thing.
Miss Parker, boom, hip attack, and they say that ain't devastating. Okay. Anyway,
Hip on hip, booty on booty. You know, we about to have a thick off with Lola and Jada Parker. You know how they go.
got them China pants on. I see. All right. China made them pants famous back in the day, boy. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Y'all got to the side.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here as always, try to bring you the good vibes as always. It's gonna be a pretty light show this week. We're gonna talk a little bit about the SmackDown premiere. Gonna talk about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes putting their differences aside to unite against the bloodline at Bad Blood. We're gonna talk about and give flowers to the one, the only fallen goddess Athena, who just broke a record of being the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion across all brands. We're going to be talking about the ongoing discourse between hip hop and wrestling. You know the one. We're going to be talking about that. So, yeah, that's going to be fun to talk about you guys' reaction to a certain song that was selected for SmackDown on USA Premiere. I want to get your thoughts too, because I think I sent you and DJ the the graphics, and DJ liked it. So, and you know he don't like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but
Okay.
yeah, man. Other than that, oh yeah, and also, how can I forget football? We gotta talk about football. So,
Well, football.
we got teams to disparage and disrespect. So you already know how that goes.
For sure, bro. For sure. Okay. Huh. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right. Well,
But that's a nice transition into the chop it up with the bandits segment. Let's get it.
get it. Ha! Bandit. Shout out to Swallow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I meant. The fam. I don't know. I got it from her. That's the funny thing is, because it was originally the funny thing is the chop it up with the fam segment was chop it up with the bandit, because she would bring me the news and stuff. So now I had to. So this is a tribute to the one and only original co-host of the Gresh Unleashed podcast. That's Swallow the Bandit. But what's good with y'all in the chat? CUB season.
What's up?
Don't fuck the fuck you mean. The fuck you mean on YouTube. What's good, Ernest, over on Twitter? Yeah,
What's
man.
happening? What's up?
So anything we know how we do. We like to be organized over here. So we got a little notes for our stuff. Did anything happen outside
you know what?
that we need to talk about?
Outside of wrestling, anything that went down. Well, apparently they ain't letting Diddy out these days. He's still clink clink.
Need to stay their ass inside. Freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside.
Times 2. Matter of fact,
Apparently,
freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside.
3 times. You said what? Apparently what?
Apparently, homie tried to give him his house and give him the kid's passport. I'm hearing. I'm like, dang, homie, you trying to do all that just to get out of jail? That's sad.
Shouldn't have done anything disgusting, you dumbass. That's what cracks me up about this shit. It's like, nigga, you could have just not did anything stupid.
Yeah. And apparently there's more that he'll be exposing at some point, I guess. So some other people are gonna be getting thrown under the bus, I guess.
That's what I was just about to say. 1,000 bottles is crazy though.
It is.
Like this is about as good as you can get from me. And this is vitamin E oil. And I run through this. It takes me 6 months to a year to run through this.
Dang. See?
Because I oil my body. I exfoliate and that's it. But 100?
Yeah.
Because I get the biggest bottle, but it's like 100 of oil? Like,
yeah. Tell me about it, homie. Tell me about it. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Go ahead.
nasty.
Oh.
Nasty nigga. You's a nasty nigga. You sick fuck.
Yeah.
Freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside.
Right. Listen.
All day. Yeah, man. Still going through it. I was like, well, serves you right, I guess.
Dumbass.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
But I never brought that back up to you. I think that happened. It's been a couple weeks now, but I don't think I got to bring that up either. But you ever check out that Marlon Wayans interview with Shay Shay?
I enjoyed it. I loved it.
Yeah,
actually.
man.
That was way better than the John Cena one, if you ask me.
Oh yeah. That was Don't get me started on that. John let us know he lived a pretty boring lifestyle for the most part, which is okay, I guess. You know, when you do what he's done for so long, I guess you kind of want to live a boring lifestyle if you think about it.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. Like it basically pretty much gave him his flowers in a way, because it's like the Wayans. I feel like a lot of people don't really they sleep they still even to this day they still sleep on the Wayans.
Yeah, I agree, bro. They did a
They are
lot.
the we got the Anoa'i family is the bloodline of wrestling. The Wayans I feel like it's the bloodline of entertainment, comedy, movies, TV shows. Like you can't mention a lot of stuff. And I like the way that he was articulate with everything. He had every point to get across. He was being his funny self, but any point that he had to get across, he got across. I respect that. So
No facts.
I
Big
loved it.
facts,
So if
bro.
you haven't already, make sure you guys check that out. Uh did we even talk about you said you brought up Shay. Did we even talk about that other incident? Or did it just happen?
No, and you know what's funny is I still ain't even seen that. I just heard
Yeah.
about it. I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
seen exactly what this is. People have talked about with this IG thing, but they're comparing it to Paul Pierce a lot. And they're like, "How is this man still employed? Paul Pierce got fired when he did something like this." And from what I saw or heard from people, there's a big, clear-cut difference in the two. Number one, Paul Pierce was very evident and blatant in the fact that he knew what he was doing. Shay Shay had no clue that he was actually live. So there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference.
He just got stupid with it, like selling merch with like that's my Michelle. Just fucking stupid.
Wow.
Yeah. But what isn't stupid is we do have our special guest finally
Uh
popped
oh.
in. The
Uh oh.
one, the only,
Uh oh.
the queen of what happens next
Uh
when she
oh.
comes back over the honorary those wrestling girl.
Uh oh.
Ah.
Oh,
Siendo in the building. What up? 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 What up?
she's the
She's right.
queen. You know. Come on now. Come on now.
She back.
Come on, we broke her. We broke her and she just got on with us, dog.
She's
See?
a queen to be.
How did I? First of all, can
Come
I be
on.
heard? I start
Yeah.
every show like that. Can I
Come
be
on.
heard?
Yes, we hear you
Okay.
loud
We
and
hear
Second of
you.
all, how did I know you guys were gonna do that? So I didn't know what I was walking back into.
Come
And
on.
and of course I go in here and y'all are already talking about Mr. Shay Shay himself, Mr. Smooth Butter as the group chat calls him. I y'all already started talking about that, so
Oh man.
it feels good to
Back.
be back. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
How are you?
Welcome.
How are you? How are
Hi guys, how are ya?
you? We
Hello. Hello.
I'm
are
like a figment of everyone's
alive.
imagination because I've not been streaming in like 2 months, but I'm here.
Hey, you know, a
Hey.
good hiatus is always welcome and encouraged from time to time. You know what I mean? Shoot.
Hey,
It's
you know
Being,
what? It gave me a chance to revamp everything that's been going on.
yeah.
I know we're gonna dive more into it because Josh and I have talked, and he's seen my tweets and stuff like that, and he knows how I feel.
mhm.
But
Come on. Come
it
on.
gave me better looking glass. I've gotten to enjoy the brand that I'm invested in, and also gives me time to hang out with you two beautiful people. So I
Come
can't
on.
complain. Loving the
Yeah.
break.
Yes. Yes.
Can't
Got
complain
me
at all.
got me feeling
Come
like
on.
another professor. Percolate, percolate.
Come on now. Look. Hey, she knew what she got into. She was two clowns
Oh,
right now. You feel me?
I already know.
Look, it's a vibe tonight, baby.
Yeah, it's a light show though, because it's like it's not that much to talk about outside of SmackDown, Raw, a little bit of NXT because I believe CM Punk just announced that he's the special referee with Trick and Ethan Page in
Page, yeah.
Chicago. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
which
Tickets
is
are only $20, so people are crazy if they're not gonna go. So
yeah, so it's like, hey, do y'all thing. But
Man.
we're gonna talk a little bit about AEW too, like probably the Grand Slam build, like just breeze by it because I'm looking at the card and I'm not sold on it. I'm like, this is the weaker
I'm
Grand Slam out of all the Grand Slams that we've ever had.
I mean, you know what? As someone who was at the last Grand Slam, the last two, I should say, it's I guess because people are almost used to it. It's almost like when they had the same PLE at the same pace, like when they had SummerSlam like 3 years in a row in LA, and then they moved to New York, and then they went back real wide. Like a lot of people are spoiled by it almost, which is
Mhm.
why I'm glad they're changing. They're creating another Grand Slam in a different state. So I'm like, okay, finally, like move to New York. New York market is not going to ever have a problem coming to an AEW show. You've seen their numbers for Forbidden Door. Great buyout for Forbidden Door, by the way. But in my opinion, it's like, okay, do you really have to keep doing Grand Slam in New York?
Yeah.
Like give it a new home. And I know we're gonna dive into it. But I do agree with you on the card situation. It's not as anticipated as it was when I went to Queens the first time. So
Yeah.
I
For
can
sure.
agree.
For sure. So I guess we can. Well, honestly, that could be a good one because I was gonna try to go backwards, kind of like AEW, then SmackDown, then Raw, and then get up out of here. Because the reason why I say AEW is because we might as well start off with giving this particular woman her flowers, if you will. The longest reigning champion in Ring of Honor in general across both all divisions, men, women, tag, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Athena, the Queen
Yeah.
Athena is what 600 and what 46 plus.
That was that
That
was
was
as
as of
of
Sunday.
Sunday.
My
Yep.
goodness.
Now she's was Tuesday, so yeah, she's gotta give her
Come
flowers.
on.
Her back still hurt from carrying, all those hussies. And
Hussies. I
What?
forgot.
as she would
Please
say,
don't whoop me, Athena. Minion Overlord. I'm sorry, I forgot that
there you
title.
go, minion overlord.
Minion Overlord. There you go.
Minion Overlord. I forgot that title. That's my bad. But yeah, thoughts on this reign. Like I know it's a beating into the ground. Athena needs to be on AEW TV. This, that, and third. How about we just give her flowers for being dedicated to doing this for 646 days? So, like, any thoughts on this reign? Like, what is your favorite match or moment of this title reign? Because what's this going on? What 2 years, give or take?
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take, yeah.
Sheesh.
Boy.
I respect. Like, I'm not finna get on here and act like I watched every single day that she's been champion. I struggle watching a lot of wrestling as is because it's so much freaking wrestling.
Too much, bro. Too much. But I'll let our guest go first on that one, man, because it would be great to hear from Sis first on this one.
Your mic just glitched. I don't know what you just did.
We're gonna have to take these out. I don't
Come
know if
There
you
on.
can
you
still
go.
hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
we
we
can hear you
go.
now. It's like as soon as you put those headphones in, that's when it say,
Let's
yeah,
see.
about that.
Trust me.
See.
What up, Justin, in the chat? Those wrestling girls
Hey.
over on YouTube. What up with y'all?
What's up? What's up?
The fuck you mean Queen Aminata calling her forever Ashley champion will forever live rent free in my head, but congrats to her for sure. Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to her too, because Queen Aminata been getting a lot of shine lately too. So it's good to see a lot of the black women shining for sure in AEW as of late. But yeah.
so how about you go
mentioned-
while
Sis getting straight. Yeah, I got you,
Yeah,
bro. Well, like you, man, I mean, I guess I would say it's highly underrated for sure. Like it's got to be one of the most underrated, longest title reigns ever right now for any promotion because she's just putting in that work, and you would never know if you're not truly like watching. And as you mentioned, with so much wrestling going on, I'd be lying if I sat there and said that I saw every feud, every single match, things like that. And I wish I could see it more. Hence why I do agree and I can understand those who are like she should have been on AEW television more because it would have been nice to see a bit of that just translated over to your main brand. But at the same time, if ROH was its own separate thing, like not under AEW's umbrella, this would be treated like so much more of a bigger deal. Um, I feel like if this was like the previous management, but I'm really happy for her, and she deserves this a lot, and I'm sure that break is going to be one hell of a break when she does finally decide to drop that title. Because as you admitted, bro, the difference between this and a Roman Reigns type reign is that she's not part time in this thing. Like she's there every week, every day, every defense. You know what I mean? Outside of the injury situation, but I like how she's incorporated that even in story. You know what I mean? And so like, um, favorite matches, man. I like what her and Red Velvet did for sure. Or was it Queen Aminata? Was it Queen Aminata? I think it was Queen Aminata. Because I know
Was
they
it
both
recent?
were.
The recent one? Yeah, Red
Yeah, Queen
Velvet was
Aminata.
it
Because
was
Red
Red
Velvet
Velvet
won
versus
the.
Big Bill, Billy Starks.
Yes, yes, and I like how her and Queen Aminata definitely had their match going on. They tore it down pretty good, and then, of course, speaking of Big Bill, Miss Billy Starks, their first encounter. I remember you put me onto that one because you were like, "Hey man, go back, watch the timeline of that thing and how it formed and what it led up to." And it's crazy because some people still theorize and feel like she's still the person that ideally could take that title from her when the time is right.
From the
Um,
highlights that I'm seeing, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised to go that route again.
yeah, I wouldn't either. It would make sense.
It'll be a full circle moment because I feel like the first match was like she wasn't ready in the
Yeah,
story. So it was like, okay, I'm just gonna succumb to being the minion. So now I feel like I'm ready. Like I feel like they'll definitely revisit that, and if they pull the trigger, go for it. And if they do pull the trigger, then that's when Tony Khan should be like, okay, at the end it's time to come to AEW, the actual main shows.
true. Because her and Mercedes, or her and wait, hold on, I blanked out on the AEW Women's Champion for a second. Who is it? Wait,
Mariah May.
Mariah
oh
May.
yeah, that's right, Mariah May. See, god dang. And I like Mariah
That's a,
May a lot, but dang, that's crazy that I already done forgot she was champ that quick, bro. Like,
that
what the
that says a
heck?
lot, though. That says a lot.
What the
That's more
heck?
so a lot on the booking. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Dang, bro. Like, yo,
Okay.
that's crazy. Like, cause I said that I was like, I knew Mercedes because definitely we see her almost every week it seems, and then like maybe that was right. Maybe it was right on Bust. I think it was Busted Open or something. I heard that on. They were like, lately they've been treating her title like it's more important than the main title. And I'm
She
like,
literally tells you, "I'm the face of the division."
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's how in her work too, how she's pushed it.
Uh,
And that's why I kind of always favor Athena and how this Ring of Honor run has been going. Two big takeaways I had before my audio decided to fuck up. Um, if Athena wanted to be on AEW, I believe she said it in the past. She would be in AEW, but it's been solely in what I appreciate out of Tony Khan. It's one been her decision to
Hmm.
be on Ring of Honor because that's where she wants to be. If and when he's ready to book her, she said before, whenever I'm ready to go, he says, let's go. So that I could appreciate out of him. And secondly, the advance that Mercedes Monet has is within her contract. That's how it's supposed to be. And I feel like when they're ready for her to go for the AW Women's Champion, you're going to know. But I don't think also the way they're building up everything is not going to be off of Mariah May. Now with the Mariah May thing, the allure of Mariah May is gone now that the feud with her and Tony has simmered down, which is why I think now, if you notice, they're leaning more on her going back to the people, the wonderful ladies she's had past feuds with and past unifications with in the Yoshi world. So that's where the excitement of it is going to start appealing for Mariah May. It's a slow burn right now because
Yeah.
we've been dealing with her so long being, Tony number two, that we don't know her momentum yet, which is why I like all the stuff that's going on her and the stuff she's doing with Tony Schiavone. The stuff she's doing coming out and not really debuting, but then having matches. And now, like I said, she's calling out some of her former Stardom partners and rivals. And I think that's what made Athena's reign so interesting, because Athena is always has been one of the best, and she's gone up against the best in Ring of Honor as their champion, which is why we're at a 646-day reign right now.
Man.
Yeah. Because I would tell you, even looking back, my go-to matches for people who say, "Hey, what match would you say check out?" I would definitely say check out her recent match with Queen Aminata. But I would definitely always and forever say go back to her match with Willow.
No,
Definitely.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody WrestleMania weekend. Like, you have not seen like edge of your seat, don't want to miss it entertainment until you've seen her versus Sheeta. That was one of the best women's matches they could have had at WrestleMania weekend. If we had to go outside of WWE, that was one of the best matches to be live for at that Ring of Honor event.
Yes.
And
That's what I'm saying.
it went on second to last, and it was worth all 30 minutes. Because it literally was a 30-minute match. Close to 30-minute match.
30 minutes. It's like, that's what happens. It's like when they're 30-minute matches and it doesn't feel like 30 minutes.
Exactly.
And then it's like me and him just talking. Like, I would definitely say, hey, go back to that first match with Billy Starks, because Billy is young, but you can tell that she's learning from the right person. So it's like that's the reason why I started off with saying, like, hey, we know it's been beaten into the horse. Like, hey, I think it needs to be on AEW TV, but it's like I appreciate her taking the time to be in Ring of Honor, even though a lot of people don't really agree with the whole behind the paywall thing. But in reality, it's like if you if you put that to the side and actually look at her body of work, she put in some of her best years.
Yeah.
Post WWE.
She really has. She took advantage of an open door, an open opportunity, and I think what's interesting about Ring of Honor, people don't realize the creative reign lies the same way it does in NXT. Like, they were the first original programming to kind of get their own freedom of creativity. Like, they kind of get up there and do whatever they want. Like, a lot of people go back there that were on AEW TV, and they go over there and they're like, "Oh, this is what it's like here. Okay, I'm gonna do what I want," and it works.
Red Velvet is a prime example, because
example.
wasn't she in like a loophole, like not a loophole, like a weird situation for a couple of minutes, and then she, boom, here she is with Queen Aminata doing their thing on Ring of Honor TV. So it's like I don't watch as much, but I see the highlights and I'm like, okay, that's working, that's working. So,
like we mentioned, Queen Aminata is another example of that, because now you see she's been getting so much more television time since cooking basically in Ring of Honor, that now they're showcasing her more, and she's been racking up wins lately a lot. So you're like, okay, they see something now. They about to start pushing for real. So it's good to see that Ring of Honor is like that extra creativity. Top Flight and that gimmick that they have, didn't they like create this in Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that it works. It fits them perfectly.
That's why I was laughing. People be getting upset when they like, hey, they should turn Ring of Honor into AEW's NXT. I'm like,
nope.
It's not an insult.
Nope. It's not. I've been saying they should turn Collision into the version of NXT for months now, but
they need to do something with Collision, because my God.
The attendance, like for them to have Mercedes on that show and the attendance still be well, and I've always said that if we're gonna be smart about it, either leave Ring of Honor, take Ring of Honor back to Philly where they know it's a wrestling crowd, and have it be a once, like, buy an arena. Like, yeah, come on, Tony, you got money. Like, buy to the 20, what's it called? 2,300 arena?
No, the 2,300 arena?
Yeah, buy it. Like,
the
you got
ECW
money.
arena?
Like, you got money. Talk to Michael.
I'm about to say, didn't you just come off of a summer series?
Yes.
Do more of that.
Yeah, like they do great in Texas. Put Collision in Texas permanently. Ooh, they do great in Texas. Make it NXT. Like I know Booker T got a school right there. Start having somebody, don't go in the parking lot because I don't know.
Yeah, their
That's
parking lot ain't as bad as NXT.
background. Yeah, like
Yeah.
start recruiting, my guy. Like everybody from reality of wrestling does not have to go to WWE.
I mean, Brian Keefe is the prime example, even though I'm not talking about who he's associated with, but
It's working.
case
It's working.
he's
I
working.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I
He getting TV
would
time.
rather listen. I'd rather that than him sitting randomly being used and not being used. He's being used. He's been used since he got signed, and I'm happy with it.
Yes.
And I don't care who it's with. He's being used,
Big
in my
facts.
opinion. It's what matters to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if it was anybody else, I'd be like, that's the reason why I don't really 100% click away from the segments, because I'm like, if it wasn't for Brian Keefe, I would not be watching this. Not even, it wouldn't even be bad. It wouldn't even be muted. I would literally just flip to something else.
The learning tree stuff gives me a headache, but that's here nor there.
I lose brain cells a lot. But you mentioned attendance in AEW. You know, we here don't really care about that. Like, what do you feel like needs to change to get people interested in it? Because I feel like, I ain't gonna lie to you, because I see the rumors. We talked about it over on the Public Enemies podcast as well. The rumor of AEW Shockwave. And I'm like, they filed a trademark of that. Hopefully that's a pay-per-view. If it's a TV show, do you put another show on I hate to say it like this, on a cold product? Because AEW is hot for the hardcore fans, but as far as like overall, they're not really as hot as they once were.
But now there's going to listen, and I could agree with you, but only because AEW came into a market that was saturated by one brand and one brand only. And now that that brand has subliminally acknowledged that, okay, we kind of have to acknowledge there's another company because we want their talent. It's not a big secret. They do.
Sure.
It's even if before it was said, it was known. They want their talent. And B, there's other companies out there. They've acknowledged that by taking their developmental talent to a brand that we swore in the past we didn't see as, it was the other company. Remember that? Doesn't that sound familiar? Now we're working. Yeah, now we're working with their brand. So if Tony's in a world where, and first of all, he needs to, because you don't build capitalism slowly. You do it where you can grab it. If he has the money, the funds, if they're giving him this TV deal to do another show, because I believe now his TV deal is 2 cable, 2 primetime. I have to read the article again, but he's getting a lot of money for a lot of open slot. Like they basically want TNT to go back to what it was when it was, Time Warner. They basically want TNT to be that again. And they're using him as the ploy. It's smart, especially with WWE basically owning everything. Their little piece of Warner lies with CW. That's not phasing them. I like that, in all honesty. And where I'm going with this, though, is that when they do that, it's interesting how they're doing that. And now you have Main Event coming back. And Tony, if he didn't build off the fact that he's now officially a part of Wrestle Kingdom now, he wouldn't be the smart business kid that we are underestimating him to be. He's smart. He's very smart. So Collision, no matter how it started, right now people are still buying tickets. People are still willing to go. It's working. Can kinks be fixed? Can he maybe move it to a different date? Sure. Can he move it to a different time? Can he compete with another brand? Sure. Because when he competes,
move it to
still
Thursday.
Right, but listen. If he really wanted to, he will. But in my opinion, for Shockwave, it would really depend on what he's going to use it for. And I say that can he put that on Thursday? Absolutely. Does he want to compete with Fridays? Is he getting rid of Rampage? We don't know. We won't know until this TV deal wraps up, because that's how it works.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if it was Rampage that he was getting rid of, because like, when's the last time anyone's truly watched a Rampage, like for real?
I watch it through Twitter.
Yeah, same.
But isn't that
People
funny?
actually sit down. People actually watch Collision though. They don't watch Rampage that much. It's actually the other way around. I know you guys don't focus on the numbers, but that's
Yeah, it's more so because I feel like everybody beats it into
right.
the
Facts.
ground, and I'm like, what can we add to the conversation that's already there? We know it's there. Trust me, we know. We
Yeah.
we keep our ears to the ground. Sometimes he'll bring it to me, sometimes I bring it to him. But yeah, I just wanted your opinion on that because I feel like that's been a burning question a lot of people have been asking for the past couple of weeks. It's like, what can be done differently going into, like, once this TV deal is done, like, do what to bring, because I'm always seeing the comments like, oh, Swerve is this, Swerve is cold, chemistry, something is this, something is that. So I'm like, I try to look at both sides of the spectrum of the coin, and I'm like, I can agree with some points. Some points I'm like, okay, you're just being facetious at this point, because it's like the company isn't that cold.
No, not
I
at all.
mean, it's not at all,
It's
but
warm.
it's warm, and I think um it's just catered to a different audience. Like, but that's our fault because again, we were programmed to think that a guy in colorful, t-shirts and jorts is what wrestling represents. And here comes this program bringing back hard chair shots and hardcore wrestling. The little batch of the excitement people got seeing ECW or seeing WCW, that company's bringing it back, and people are like, "Oh, well, why are we doing this? Like, this shouldn't be on TV." I'm like, the Attitude Era the Attitude Era fucked us up. Shout out to Chris to be on that one because I was looking, I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm surprised it didn't set. I'm surprised Adam Page didn't really set Swerve on fire with that match. I'll be really honest with you. Like,
Didn't
that's
I
where I was at.
didn't I
That's
put
where I
out
was
a
at.
tweet?
You
I was
did.
like, I'm
You did.
surprised somebody didn't get set on fire at
Yeah,
this
like
point.
I'm surprised he didn't put him in the trunk of a car, drive backstage, and drive into a production truck because I was waiting for that. Like that was mild compared to what we saw.
What we saw.
Like I watched an episode of Raw on my deep dive of watching the first episode of SmackDown, and I was like, I totally forgot Stone Cold did that with somebody in the back seat. Like that was my brain. Like, but people are complaining about it, and I'm like, did you not watch Raw in 1999? Like, did you
Yeah.
not see, like, did like people were talking about the stuff with Mariah May and the shoe. People were pissed about that, and I'm like, so nobody watched. Like, we've come a long way from mud baths and bikini contests and
Yeah.
people
Wet
having wet t-shirt contests. Like, this suits me. Like, I've waited a long time for stuff like this to happen. So
Yes.
people just need to remember
I feel like
that
most of that stuff
always
don't
for
even
everybody.
be. I feel like most of that stuff don't even be in good faith anyway.
But it's like, but there's people that like it. Like, there's people that talk about it.
Them the ones
Obviously,
I
it
pay
did what it
attention
was
to.
supposed to do. Yeah, like, be honest, it did what it was supposed to do. It created buzz because
Like, literally, like, it honestly, it made Mariah May versus Tony Storm more anticipated than the other women's matches that they had on the show.
exactly.
Which caused the buzz. Why people was like, why did it go so early? Why it didn't go like co-main event? But that's in the past to harp on. But it's just like, that's how you create buzz. So it's like AEW has the opportunity to create buzz and to
Right.
create anticipation. It's just more so about them just being consistent across the board. And it also falls on the talent as well, who they put in that position, because that's the beauty behind the behind wrestling business too. Like, a lot of people always clamor for new people, but they don't provide the patience for said new person to find their
They really
footing.
don't. They really don't, because like, and I give it the perfect example. A lot of people were like, "Who the heck is Mariah May?" And I'm like, "But these are people that swear like, oh, give the girls from Stardom a chance." Blah blah. I'm like, but y'all don't know who Mariah May is. Just because she looks a certain way doesn't mean she's like a pinnacle. Like, Club Venus was an allure to me because I was like, this is interesting. Like, I listen, I want Mina. I'm sorry. Like, that was an allure to me. So the fact that people chime in, they say like, oh, we want more of this, but then you go, who is that? When that more of comes in, it's like, do y'all really know what y'all want at the end of the day?
when you hit them with the who is this, the company's like, oh, so you don't want this.
Right.
I'm going
So
to take it away.
and then there's people that get accused of like, oh, not every wrestling fan has to know everything. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
so then what are we asking for here? Like, why are you making requests if you don't want to be that fan that doesn't know everything? It's a complex. I'll put it that way.
This
Yeah.
is how
See,
I well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, wrestling. Funny that you just said that, sis, because wrestling is a lot like being a DJ. I swear on everything. Like, you come through, you prepare your set, you know what songs you're gonna do, you got your criteria, you know what type of party you're gonna be at. If you DJ in a prom, you know, like, okay, this is my audience, these type of songs no matter what you play, no matter how knowledgeable your song library is, somebody's always gonna come to you and be like, hey, can we request this song? Can we request this and that? And that's exactly how it gets when it comes to wrestling with a push. No matter what you do, somebody's always gonna want some type of like, hey, who's this? I would rather have this person. And then now the company's like keeping their ears to the streets, like, oh, okay, they want this, so we gotta try to make this happen. Well, why did you do that? You
Right.
should have kept this. And you're just like, bro, they gotta do like DJs, man. After a while, look, no more requests after this time. Like, hey, we doing what we do, and you gonna like it or move on, whatever.
I think that's probably what Tony Khan's mindset is right now. After this entire conversation, he's like,
Yes.
okay, we tried to cater to the casuals.
Mm-hmm.
They keep bitching about it, so we was gonna cater to the sickos because All Out was literally for the sickos.
Man,
And there's
definitely.
nothing wrong with that. But if it's not for you, just don't don't watch it. And if it's not for you, don't watch it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't have
Like,
a gun. I don't have a blade to your head and say, "Hey, watch this." Or
right. And it's like
Yeah.
for me, we're still complaining about the same type of match that happened with Swerve and Hangman months before. And you're complaining
Oh,
about it in the same format again. Make it make sense. Like a lot of people,
yeah.
for me, I watched All Out because I was like, I want to see more Mercedes Moné. As always, when I'm going to watch it, I feel like this All Out match, she redeemed herself from the mess tone that she had to carry at All In. Let's be honest about that.
what match?
Uh,
I could have sworn she just had an entrance and just left.
She like, see what you not
I
gonna do.
forgot where I was. Lord of mercy. Okay,
She said, Gresh, what you not gonna do?
so I'm gonna make the punk face like.
You not gonna come at Miss Mercedes like that.
Nah,
Come on.
Mercedes, she didn't have a match at all in. She just had a full entrance, extravagant.
So you mean to tell me it was her and Casper for like 20 minutes? Is that
Yes,
what? Okay.
yes.
Still,
I
okay.
took it. Yes, that's when my brain has learned to accept it.
I
That
said
it
my
was
apologies. I said my apologies to Thunder Rosa already. I ain't gonna.
yeah. Tony ain't even bringing her up. He's like yeah. So let's move talk about this. That's literally what he did was at that. I can see right through. See, one thing Tony Khan don't know how to do, he don't know how to hide his true emotions. I see.
Oh,
Listen, he book smart. He ain't street smart. That's why he ain't gonna lie. Like he's smart guy. Like I don't. He book smart. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
leave it at
Book
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure.
smart. But you telling him to lie on the witness stand? Hell no, he ain't doing it. He ain't doing it. He
Man,
ain't doing it.
them old bug eyes
That's
gonna give
why
it
you
away in a
ain't.
heartbeat.
You ain't never gonna catch him doing some inconspicuous Mr. Redacted stuff because he just gonna be like, maybe I did. Like he just be like that. He be like, maybe I did,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
look
Man,
straight at you.
come
It's
on.
like you know what, you got a point.
Yeah, like
That's my bad. Then we're gonna be like what our truth said in that Shannon shot. My bad. That's on me.
yeah, like he literally like this is the same guy in a black sweatshirt who was sitting there gulping that seltzer and was like, I know shit just hit the fan, but I got a press show to do, so I'm gonna keep running this press show. And when they asked him about people competing with him, he was like, "Listen, I ain't taking that shit." And what did he do? Still go on with creating the show on a Saturday because
I'm
he
not gonna
wasn't
take
gonna
that
take that
fucking
fucking
shit.
shit. Listen, as, as somebody who's
Oh boy.
protected their brand, I respect him in that light. Like, if I got a show and you gonna come for my shit, I'm coming for your shit. For you come for my shit. But
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna. I still
Come
use
on.
that meme from time to time. I'm not gonna sit back and take that fucking shit.
he did listen. He went and sat down with HBO and was like, "Listen, all right, shockwaves happening. I respect it. Do you, bro? You got the money."
Come on now.
Thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to harp on that. I guess we could talk about the Grand Slam show that's coming up. Was it next week or the week after that? Is it next week? It's a lot of shows that are bleeding
Week
into each other.
after.
Yeah, these
Okay, yeah, yeah.
shows
So
back to
far
back.
we have
Oh, is it?
Young Bucks versus Will
Yeah.
Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, Hook versus Roderick Strong, and Nigel McGuinness versus Brian Danielson if Brian is cleared, and John Moxley versus Darby Allin. Right. So they're basically trying to sell more tickets, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Grand Slam. I'm trying to remember. We didn't really. Did we? Did I see Will Ospreay? No, no.
Is this his first Grand Slam?
He made an appearance, but he didn't wrestle.
Ooh.
You can go over the card while I take a look down memory
Oh,
lane.
I'm looking down memory lane right now. Eddie Kingston, Claudio Castagnoli. That's when he won the finally won the world title.
Right.
I remember that.
Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Ray Phoenix
Oh,
versus John Moxley for the international championship. I think this is when Mox got concussed.
Yes. They had to
So
look out. I was there for that. Then
yep,
you had
Soraya versus Tony Storm,
yes.
and MJF versus Samoa Joe. I think this is when this was night. It was a double part. They had Rampage too, but yeah, this is when Adam Cole got injured.
Yes.
Coming off that.
So there was no Will Ospreay at the time.
Nah. I think he made an appearance at like the pay per view to announce that he will be on the, as far as he'll be signing or he'll be making his official debut at February.
And then I remember they had that same Rampage. That's when Kenny Omega came back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it was the Hardys. The Hardys closed out that. Yeah. So my thing is,
Wow.
Grand Slam was treated as the wow factor between pay-per-views. And until something, unless they announce something else this week, everybody's wow factor seems to lie within. Well, for a lot of people, it was Nigel McGuinness versus Brian Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
And then their other Y factor seems to be Will Ospreay because Will Ospreay draws at Forbidden Door. It's not going to be his first match at Forbidden Door. He drew, but that's because you had a lot of people that were fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling attending a wrestling show with Forbidden Door. So he basically wrestled somebody he was already familiar with, at Forbidden Door, in my opinion. I want to see that element in New York without it because no matter what, I feel like people are going to come no matter what because New York.
Yeah, it's New York. Like
It's New York.
that's like people coming to the Atlanta shows. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna show up.
Their draw last year was MJF and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I remember that feud. Yeah.
The friendships, the best friends, the brochachos.
So many betrayals. It was like
Yeah, the injury bug messed up that entire story.
That was
dang. It's a dog on something. Ain't nothing been the same since. It's like
I thought it would have elevated the career of, but it didn't.
oh. Come on.
So my opinion, it was like, well, why would we do this? Like, where are we going?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice about it, but it didn't elevate one single person in that entire group. Like it kept the momentum of the main person that but as far as the other two, zero. Like let's be
Yeah, that's how
for
I felt.
it was it's like a hot cake that you get from McDonald's. It's good when it's hot, but when it gets cold, like
Don't warm it up no
nah,
more. Just
don't
throw
warm
it
that
away.
up. Like don't
Yeah,
even stick it in the microwave. Like nothing's gonna save that.
it's nothing gonna
Don't
Not
even
say.
even
put it in the air fryer.
yeah,
It's not gonna
not even
work.
putting it back on a flat pan is gonna save that. That's how I felt about that.
Jeez.
That's how I honestly felt about that.
Boy, boy.
And don't think, listen, people think because I do a show, a WWE based show, think I'm gonna come with shots. I got shots for every single show that I've watched this past week. So this is just me.
This is
This
for
is one
real.
clip on. This is me. This is the real me. I got a clip for
I,
last night's Raw. You know what I watched last night. So we gotta loosen the chamber for all of that. So
Hmm?
it's not
oh,
picking.
Yeah, your mic went in and out again. Just so
I
you
said I
know.
have questions and they need to be answered.
Got
So
you.
this is clip number one that I'm unloading. But yeah, didn't do a lot of betrayals. If you realize in AEW, don't do much. There only two betrayals have really done the elevation of someone's career, and that's Mariah May, in my opinion. And then the Young Bucks becoming EVPs has done wonders for them. Oh, and Jack Perry. I'm a big fan of Jack Perry here.
Oh,
I'm a big
you're jacking?
oh,
no.
Gresh, don't
I'm
say that.
I
I'm not
didn't
a
come up with that.
I don't allow
That's key.
myself don't allow myself to be one because I'm not an OG. Like I'm still in Jungle Boy phase.
I
I
call
do
him
think
Jungle
what
Jack.
happened to I do I do think what happened to him is unfair. Like as far as the whole situation is, I do think what happened to him is unfair because like let's be real. Um he was suspended for way too long, in my opinion. Just to be fair. However, how he was able to turn that around and be a disrespectful twat, I dig it. Keep going. You deserve it. Like you deserve to pour soda on Tony Giovanni's head. Like you deserve to disrespect Tony Khan. Like you deserve it all because they had no right keeping you out and then firing the person they brought back. They listen. They had
They should have brought him back as soon as they fired him.
exactly, and that's how I felt about that. But look at the bill they gave him.
Yeah. So
Like he grew
he
a
pivoted.
beard. Like he got big wang energy. I'm here for it. But I'm not a jackal because I'm not allowed. I'm not an OG. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know fandoms. I don't. I just
Man,
see people interact on social media. And I just wait. Someone,
Look, somebody said I be
for real.
jacking.
okay. All right.
Pause.
Mm-hmm. I think they put a pause emoji on it. Okay.
And I
Okay.
like the song. I like the fandom song. But again, I respect the fandom. I
Um,
get it.
listen,
Watching him
I
at
don't.
Forbidden Door, I enjoyed him at Forbidden Door. I saw the smartness within him. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna win this match. As soon as he walked out, I was like, if they don't give it to him, that would have been crazy. That would have, but they gave him the belt, so I was happy that night.
Hey man. So one thing about me, you ain't gonna see me talk about nobody's fandom. I'm like, hey, like who you like. So, Jack, like I said, I am cool with the character. In ring wise, he's pretty much to me like everybody else on that roster, like hit or miss depending on who you vibe with, who you link in the ring with. But other
Right.
than that, I'm not gonna be out here like, oh my god, this guy fucking sucks. Not my cup of tea. But what doesn't suck is Saturday night's main event is coming back.
Woohoo!
Hey.
Like according to this, it's gonna be on December 14th. Going to be on NBC and Peacock and
It's
at
in
Long
my
Island, New York, December 14th.
and if the Long Island Railroad don't go there, I'm not going because that's far. But I respect it. It is the OG. It's the OG home of main event, so it's Son of Monsters. It's smart. I like it. It's the original. Like when I tell you it's the original, like my uncle Calvin went to the Saturday night main event in Long Island. Like that's how old it is. So, and I know they're bringing back Jesse Ventura
Hmm.
to do the commentary, which is also smart. So I'm excited. I want to see what they pull off.
I didn't know this building was still up.
Oh yeah, it went through renovations, So I believe it's a lot bigger from what I understand. I know I'm surprised they got the building though, because World's End was there last year. So I'm surprised that they were like, normally it's supposed to be this unspoken rule of wherever AEW goes, WWE doesn't go. Wherever WWE goes, AEW don't go. But
I
World's End
think
was at Nassau Coliseum.
TKO don't care.
Yeah, I think TKO's like, listen, we need a place. Where you want to go? Like, what do you
Yeah,
want?
yeah.
Funds?
There,
Do
okay.
you need a piece of truck? Like, what do you want from us? We'll get it.
No, they don't care. But yeah, it's going down. It's gonna be, for those people who didn't know if it's gonna be live or not. It's gonna be on NBC as well as Peacock, and then it's gonna be it's a part of it's gonna be the first primetime special in quite some time, which will air quarterly on NBC and Peacock. So we're gonna be getting quarterly Saturday Night's Main Event specials for the next 5 years.
I'm
Nice.
down with it, man.
I feel like they should do one for John Cena's retired last year.
I
Like,
think this is gonna be the kickoff to that.
For sure.
To be honest,
I agree.
it
okay.
has to.
Like it,
It
like
has to.
because I think if they do one next year during his final month, that'd be a nice swan song. So even if
Yeah.
they don't name it necessarily Saturday Night's Main Event, they can literally name it John Cena's farewell match,
Right.
True.
and
I
people
like
will buy
that.
tickets.
And the beauty of this is they've been doing a lot of Legends contracts as of late. So that would mean
Mm-hmm.
this vibe is going to set that perfectly for all these Legends contracts that we've seen. Just to make an appearance and who knows, just do something cool like manage somebody or have a backstage promo with somebody and kind of, put somebody over verbally, stuff like that. So, man, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be crazy.
Speaking of crazy, the reaction to a certain song
Oh, boy.
for SmackDown,
Here we go.
"Never Play" by Meg The Stallion, featuring RM of BTS, is the new theme song for SmackDown. And
Well,
that's sparked quite the reaction.
before even going into that, let's talk about why this is even that theme. Given that we can finally, because we didn't get to talk about that last week, my brother. Finally, we can say goodbye to Def Rebel and all those whack, boring, lame theme songs that we've gotten for the past I don't know how many years. Finally.
Or we can say goodbye to when they make face music, and then when that person turns heel, all they do is switch the auto beat and revamp the snip and turn it into a heel theme song. Sorry, Roxanne.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Carmelo.
Oh, God. They ruined Bailey's song. Oh, God.
Or making pop rock out of Cora J's theme song and then trying to make death metal when she turned heel as a cheap way out instead of giving her new music.
About
So
the 50 million different themes they done given Braun Breaker. Dog. I was like, good Lord, how many times you gonna change this man's theme?
about when they got their first contract, they're the reasons why Big E's music had to be not even Biggie, sorry, Keith Lee's music had to be changed because apparently creative changes. Bye, bitch. So yeah, it's one hell of a run.
Listen.
But the good thing about certain runs is that they need to end. Not everybody runs the marathon till they're 100.
I will give you pebbles of a flower. Thank you for Trick Williams' theme. Thank you for Carmelo's theme.
No, you thank the NXT universe for Trick Williams' theme, because remember the first Trick Williams theme song.
That drill, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That didn't
Never
fit
mind.
him whatsoever.
Thank you, Orlando, for that theme.
Thank you, Orlando, for that.
Thank you for the Bloodlines theme songs. I can give them that.
Thank you for Roman Reigns, because
don't forget Io Sky.
And Io Sky. So when it comes to the Bloodline and Yoshi wrestlers, they lock in.
But to hell with you for what you did to Tiffany's track, because y'all could have kept her song. Y'all could have fought for that. to me.
You
Drop.
right. You
I
right.
can't get by the time it
Screw
is.
you.
Yeah,
Drop,
they did mess that up.
drop.
Screw
Like,
you.
what?
Oh, and then they messed up Naya's theme too, man.
Yeah, screw you.
Doggone it.
You could have fought for her old one. We knew
Man.
she was the old
What's the song say? Dun, dun, dun. I'm man. Like, what?
Yeah. The hell with y'all for y'all did great with Gunther the first time. I don't know why y'all ain't fight for Gunther the second time. You know
And-
what? Y'all did, you know what I don't like? You know what makes me mad? They didn't stand on business. With Jim Johnson, there were times, if you ever read the book,
Even the microphone agrees. Even
Thank
the
you.
microphone agrees.
But-
See? See?
am I allowed to speak now? He stood on
Yeah,
business.
you're good.
He stood on business.
Clearly, the feedback agrees. You see what I'm saying?
There's something going on with my mixer. That's probably what it is.
Oh, so we got Gresh to blame for that one.
I think it's my mixer. Hold on. Continue what I was saying.
They don't want me to talk
Oh.
shit, so I'ma just end it right here.
They trying to
like,
mute it.
they trying to mute me on but I
My sis will not be silenced.
I said I like some of the stuff they had, don't get me wrong, but they didn't stand on business. They tried to get Jim Johnson to change the Undertaker's theme, and he said, I'm not doing that. Like he stand on business.
Man.
That's all I was gonna say about that. That's the one thing, because they changed so many people's songs, and it was like, oh, because it wouldn't fit on the main roster. Dude, if somebody watched somebody from NXT or from the beginning, you know that it's gonna hit on the main roster. They went based off of too many reactions from two different bosses, if you will. And that's why, we can have the Poppy era at NXT, but let them try and do a Poppy show at a WWE Raw or PLE. They're just gonna look at this shit like, what the hell is that? And never bring it back. Let's be real. It's certain shit that don't work. And that's with this. Like, this works. Triple H probably sitting back there like, he got daughters. They listen to hip hop. I don't care what you think. He probably was like, it's gonna work. And then people were like, what the hell is this? Like, I will never, if you bring back a Nickelback song, I will smooth throw an apple. I never want to hear. I don't want to hear another Nickelback Creed. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
We're gonna bring the back. I forgot that doggone song go. I know exactly what she's talking about.
If it ain't what Raw was with that list to the music stuff, if it ain't that, don't bring it back.
Sis, don't forget. Tonight is the night.
No.
Remember that.
Let's not.
Who better than me?
Y'all
Ain't nobody.
Boy.
Y'all gonna get y'all rock me.
Who better than me?
Oh, what was the one for Raw
I don't see
before that?
nobody.
What was the one they did with Raw? The rap was greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. I was like, what? Feels like what? Hey, bro. That's why I can't wait for Netflix, because I can't wait to see what they finna bring for Netflix, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna get y'all rock music back. Y'all gonna get y'all, you can get a Jelly Roll. Y'all want Jelly Roll or somebody from country. You go listen. MGK didn't show up at SummerSlam for no reason. I'm sorry, I'm convinced. Like, ain't no way he not doing a theme song. But y'all gonna get it on Netflix. So what do y'all complain about SmackDown for? Let the niggas have what they need, okay? Like, let it balance itself out.
Exactly.
Netflix is gonna be for the rockers. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Jelly Roll doing like something with like what's the rock band that was just on there that did it before? I forgot. The guy who just said he was a WWE fan. It's gonna come back to me. Don't be surprised you get a rock up in there. You will, as long as it's not Hardy. I never want to see Hardy on a WWE program ever again. because that was just mess.
Party,
Like,
bro. Oh my goodness.
oh, I love the beautiful people. Don't get me wrong. Like, bring that level of it back.
Oh, that Marilyn Manson? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
nice.
bring that level of it back.
That was nice.
Oh yeah, there we go. Guy said that's his name. NF. He likes WWE. You might get him. He's good.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
NF is nice. NF is nice. I think
Yeah.
when I was actually happy to see that he had reached that level. I think no, Social Club didn't do that. They did that was something else they did something for. It wasn't a theme, but it was like I think pay-per-view or something they did something for. So they got some people that's you'd be like, okay, this artist is nice when you pull up, but some of these folks I was just like, who thought this was a good idea for a theme song? Like I still can't greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Like I'm like, huh? That's the best you can come up with, my guy? Really? Really? Bruh. How far hooks better than that, my ninja? What the heck is that? I was like, bro, get out of here with that, bro. Like, what? I was like, man, come on now. Hey.
Did you say my
Bruh, dog, come on, man. Nah. some of those raws, bro. I was just like, nah, I couldn't take that. I was just like, man, skip this intro, please. I was like, DVR. I just want to get to the fireworks. That's it. I was like, man, but hey, cause it's
Greatness.
cool. Hey, don't do that, man. Don't do that, Gresh. Please, don't do that.
I'm on the birds. We on the bird, and I feel like greatness.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so glad that it's gone. Oh my god.
Nah, the way everybody were reacting online, I was like, bro, I want them to hire T-Pain at this point.
No, and you know what's funny? I was expecting T-Pain. That's why, because when I saw him at WrestleMania weekend, I'm like, oh no, it'd be crazy if he don't do something. Or like, listen, they have to give Wale back what they took from him, because that
Yes.
NXT 2.0 theme song was not bad.
Fire,
They cut
bro.
it short.
Come
They had
on.
They had promise.
It had promise, and they cut it short. It worked. It was a part of the vibe. And
Down
they cut
south,
it short.
son. I don't know what he's saying.
Man, listen.
Down south, son.
Why they get done so dirty with these things, man? But
My takeaway is, why are they so shocked that it's a hip hop song when we've just given The Weeknd a break from the last 5 years? He took over as co-chair of the WWE theme song for WrestleMania committee. We shouldn't be surprised at the connection with Megan, because Megan was Bianca's friend first. Sorry, Monet. Let's be real about that.
Weren't they trying to make that a thing where it was like, oh, they collab with Megan despite Mercedes? Everything ain't about Mercedes,
No, but
respectfully.
Bianca was there first.
I mean, we all saw that one picture that they took that broke the internet. Come on now.
Right. So shouldn't be surprised. And I'm gonna be real dead ass honest with you. I won't be surprised at when this CW launch happens if Sexy Red is not singing a new goddamn thing song, because of what the hell we bring her back for again.
oh, she definitely has a theme on the way, no doubt. You can tell. And
How they know how to censor Sexy Red? Because
well, see, because here's
her
the
and
thing.
PG don't go together.
But here's the thing. See, because that's the beauty of this. Like, the reports was that now that Def Rebel's out the way and they ain't renewing them, they're just basically gonna just do licenses for a lot of wrestlers' themes. Now, I was listening to people talk about that, and they was like, now every wrestler doesn't necessarily need a licensed theme,
Right?
per se. Just your big time peoples. You know what I'm saying? Because then it gets saturated. All of a sudden, everybody like say, let's see, who's somebody random I can think of? Dang, I'm trying to. Let's say freaking Humberto Carrillo and them have like a I don't want to say Bad Bunny, so I'm gonna try to think of another line. Let's say Daddy Yankee or somebody suddenly
Selena Gomez.
Yeah. Ariana Grande.
Like that. Why you do her like that?
Ariana Grande.
She's an ass. Oh.
You get my drift? Like, imagine a mid Carter to low bench warmer caterer
You're
coming
saying
out.
that the license should be more for your main event hitters.
The
Like,
Pretty
people
much.
who is worth the investment, who's going to make that
Exactly.
money
okay,
back.
okay.
Like
So
Jay
the Rhea
Uso.
Ripley, okay, like the Rhea Ripleys and the Jey Usos
Yeah.
and the
Hmm.
Randy Ortons and the CM Punk should all keep the license and stuff like that. Like the Drews
Hmm.
Yes.
and stuff like. I get you. I
Yeah.
can agree with that. I can agree with that. I can also agree with the fact that like, hey, um, Def Rebel and I give listen so that we don't crash out. Just to be clear, they gave us some bangers like that Me Oos Day One ish stuff works.
Even though it's just a
Facts.
remake of the Down Sense Day One ish.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But
Both of them are in
Downsense,
my playlist. I'm not
But
even
that's
saying about them.
Downsense didn't get what just me got though.
right.
They
You
started it.
bring back more. You want to listen
Yeah.
down. What's the name of the same band I believe that did um Edge's theme song was the same band that gave him the Judgment Day theme song, and they kept it.
Uh-huh.
I think they should do more stuff like that. Like I think
Yeah.
that the
Oh,
relationship
Alter
kind of got
Bridge.
lost. Yeah, that relationship got lost because of Death Rebel because they were like, okay, we got this group, and I think the same issues that Death Rebel's probably happening that Triple H is seeing is the same reason why CFO was like, we're out. Like there's no purpose for us being here. But you still need a new creative team. You're gonna need somebody for the small event players. The big event players, yeah, absolutely. Give them the jelly rolls and the sexy reds and all that stuff all day, but like maybe to give that draw and that connection that TOK is looking for to have. Because I know they saw a lot of old school stuff and they want that cultural community connection back. Give it to the main event people. Like give it to the champions. Like Braun Breaker should have Braun Breaker should definitely have an NF like theme song or
I
some shit
agree.
like that. Like some real like some Yellow Wolf type shit. That's what I be looking at when I see
Yeah.
Braun Breaker. Like
Come on.
I think that. So I agree with what you're saying on that
Yeah.
note.
Yeah, because like there was an Instagram
Metalingus
account.
is the actual name of the song, not the band.
It's Alter Bridge.
Alter Bridge.
Vaughn
Yeah,
has it
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
Don't
why
feel,
you would.
don't feel bad. A lot of people thought that was the name of the band. It's Alter Bridge Metalingus.
Alter Bridge.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But man,
And the other side. So yeah, so more of that, more music. And honestly, last thing we'll say on this, if you're the type of person that's gonna be like the hip hop community, I know what you are, and I'm blocking you.
and let's not get it twisted because look, man, I know when Saliva was doing Batista's music, I was eating that up. When they was doing Chris Jericho and I think they did a Triple H remix and all that. Saliva, they
Oh, I
put
miss
me
that
on to
so
Saliva
much.
back in the
I
Motorhead
miss
and all
that
them.
so much.
Bro, that era back then had me loving rock music.
SmackDown
So
versus Raw put me on rock music.
Yeah.
It introduced me to more than hip hop because I grew up on hip hop Christian music.
yeah,
Well,
and
Christian
those,
music and hip hop music. Those
Me
two
too.
genres. So it's like I was like, oh, I'm listening to SmackDown versus Raw. I'm like, oh, this is actually
Mhm.
kind of fire.
yeah,
Like when I
sounds
think
really
CM Punk, I can't think of like the two theme songs that CM Punk had, they fit with him so synonymously. Like to the point when I heard Live in Color, I was like, there's no way this man really took one of the most iconic, only still going, setting the
Mhm.
tone, African American led rock bands of a decade and really let that shit be his theme song and was like, I'm a fan. I was like, bro, like
I didn't even know I didn't even know the lead was black until
a lot of people didn't.
2013. I was
When I
like,
heard it, when I first heard it, I was like, "There's no way that's Living Colors going through the speakers." And then when he walked out with the belt that night, I was like, "Holy shit!" He really. First of all, the people that was doing his first theme song, he was cool with them. The people that did this Fire Burns Always, to the point where Seth Rollins got to use a theme song from them, cough cough. So to the point where he literally left Kill Switch and he was like, "All right, thank y'all for making me who I am," and went to a black rock band. People
hey,
don't get how that speaks volumes.
funny thing about that Kill Switch theme though, it's still wild that Randy Orton tried to have that theme.
well,
Like,
for like a week.
Oh, we.
and it did not fit him whatsoever. It was just like, yo, who would have thought? Even though I did like Mercy Drive, I liked that Nothing You Could Say. You know, Burning My Light was still fun to me, even though he couldn't stand it. But Voices, I mean, for crying out loud, man. I mean,
You got
Voices.
rules in your religion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't blame him for saying that to the fans. Like, it took y'all this long. You know, it took y'all about 15
Shout out
years
to
to start
Vaughn for this fact. Cult of Personality came out the same year as WrestleMania 4.
4. Yep.
Look at that.
Older than me, Jesus.
And you see Afro Punk in the dictionary, you see Living Color.
Come
And
on,
that's
bro.
just facts. That's just facts.
I love
outside of the theme song, SmackDown was pretty much the Bloodline show featuring Cody.
Per usual. Yeah.
Usual.
And they also teased Nia Jax defending her women's title if against either Bayley or Naomi. And if whoever, because they're going to have a tag team match next week, whoever loses on the babyface side, whoever takes the pin will have to leave SmackDown, will likely go to Raw. Or whoever takes the pin, like if someone pins Tiffany Stratton, they get the title shot, basically. So that'll be interesting. See if they pull the trigger on that. Like if they have Nia and them win, and then have somebody go to Raw less than 2 weeks before the show, which is interesting, but we'll see. But yeah, SmackDown premiere, it was the logo. What y'all think about the logo?
Ooh. Interesting choice to merge the S and the D.
Smack sound.
I mean, it gave me ESPN Sports Center vibes.
Yeah, that does give that Sports Center.
Gives me ESPN Sports Show vibes.
I think that was the point that they're going for, because they're trying to. Yeah, the one thing I've accepted about WWE's logos is they're trying to go with the clean look.
It's very clean. It's very. Yeah. It looks good. Don't get me wrong, but when I look at it, I'm like, it feels like I'm about to watch Sportscast. Like it that's a good thing to me. I like it.
I like it. That's what I'm saying. I saw them. I always pay attention to mixed reactions, so I just thought about that. Raw. Anything y'all want to talk about that happened on Raw? I know you had mentioned some highlights, Miss
I'm so looking forward to Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. I'm sorry. Like after last night, I was like, they always want to come for my guy Braun. I'm sorry, they want to come for him. Like every time on the internet they talk about him, and listen, forgive the tan. Him being the champion, like the minute he forgive the tan, okay? Forgive him. Forgive him. He don't got nobody telling him it's too much. I forgive him. I just think that this is so synonymous. Like even last week when he was like, our fathers never fought. So he's basically making it known that, listen, we are not like our fathers. And it comes off the heels to me of Jay's father talking so fucking much on his podcast that I had to mute that shit on Twitter. I don't want to hear you complain about your kids no more. Because look at the state that your kid is in now. He's about to start a generational feud with someone who is also a generational talent. Like your kid's not, if I'm not doing that, don't talk to me. Like if my kid is going to be a wrestler and he's not doing shit like that, don't talk about him, because this is iconic to me. This is next level stuff. And it puts you at the edge of your seat, because one side doesn't want me to see Braun Breaker lose the Intercontinental Championship so fast. But the other side of me is like, if Jey Uso does not get the IC Championship now, when the hell are they going to advance him? We don't know what's going to happen here. And my only qualm about it is I would have sworn they would have saved something like this for Survivor Series. But the fact that it's happening at Bad Blood makes it 10 times more interesting.
It's happening next week.
It's happening. Oh, next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
That's a Raw thing. Now,
because I didn't look at the card. My bad. But I don't know. Do you really think it's? I don't know. I don't know. This might be a last minute add to Bad Blood to me. It still can go on to Bad Blood.
Like a false finish.
Yeah.
And then have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you guys think about like a dusty finish on that, where like Jay wins
I'm,
it, but then
but
it's
I'm
like a
tired of
reverse.
dusty finishes.
I'm
No,
tired of
I'm
Dusty
tired
finish.
of dusty
Rest in
finishes.
peace, Dusty Rose. But I'm tired of your finish getting used a lot.
Like if he like
Shit.
to me, if the scenario I see happening, if it's happening on Raw, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Jay doesn't deserve a Raw win for his first championship. It would be nice. And if it happens, it happens. But I don't feel like he deserves that. However, I also don't think that Braun Breaker deserves a Raw loss for a championship because he had a Raw win for the NXT championship. He
Hmm.
just came off a big four PLE win for that belt. Why are you having him lose it on Raw? Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
The way that they had both of them standing tall after this segment and at the end of the show, I would definitely hope for a false finish or not a false finish, a no contest. To where
Right.
That's
they're
what.
determined they have no choice but to do a rematch because they can it's like the mentioning of the family brings out the seriousness in Jay,
Yep.
Right.
and you can literally I feel like they can at least get another month out of this
Right.
build wise. Like this isn't something you just get done one and done. Because
Can't
I know
stop
a
us.
lot of
Yeah.
people, for some reason, and this is just me to the people who keep fantasy booking Jay Uso. I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to have that gut feeling that they're not moving Jay back to the Bloodline story.
No. I
Oh
think they're
yeah,
trying to
I
get
was.
that removed. They're trying to remove that stain off of him as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. I,
So
I I felt that coming because I mean Jimmy has been MIA, and where like they can always bring him back over there for that if they want.
Yeah, because
Since they
it
did
would be
kick him
great to
out.
build some momentum.
Yeah, you can always bring him back to be with Roman, and then you still get Leo out there somewhere. So whenever they decide to resurface him, bring him into the fray, that bloodline thing should be good where it's at. Because I get this feeling Solo's getting kicked out of that thing very shortly. Before you know it.
Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely I'm on the theory wagon of Solo's gonna realize he's not bloodline material and try and go back to Roman, and Tungalo and them gonna be like, "Nigga, no, we're not doing that."
Hmm.
He gonna look
So
at him like, "My nigga, no, absolutely
yeah.
not." And if that don't happen, I definitely see Jacob. I see Jacob playing more of a role than we think he's supposed to be because my
Hmm.
theory with that whole bloodline thing, and not to go off of what happened on Raw, they're trying to treat Jacob the way Solo was treated by Roman, and that's gonna
mhm.
backfire in itself. That's
Hmm.
gonna backfire real quick. I
Yeah,
think
because
he's
you
been
notice they're getting the tease out the way early. Because you remember with the solo, they waited a
right,
little while before they started teasing like, oh, why are you treating solo like this?
Hmm.
right.
Whereas Jacob, they know out of the gate he's a wild savage.
Hmm.
You can only tame him so much before he just snaps.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
I
he's
love you,
saying
Solo. I love
yeah,
you.
yeah. He's gonna, and I agree. But in the end, he gonna walk. He gonna dog walk that boy. I'm sorry. Like in no
all,
way. I'm sorry.
all I'm gonna say is that now that Amada, Estrada
Oh,
got
yes,
this
he's
Legends
legend
contract,
too.
I better see this man be somebody's wise man. That's all I'm saying, dog.
Hell, he could be Jacob's wise man.
I
Fuck that.
said somebody's anybody.
He could be
Jacob
anybody.
Solo, anybody. This man is written right there for him.
Mhm.
That's what this new bloodline needs.
He has
It
family
comes right in
ties.
there, and exactly directly, it fits. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, whatever point they decide to do it, save it for Netflix if you want. I don't care. I just want to see that man walk up in there. Reaction gonna be crazy to the ones that know. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but and I agree. I definitely think that Jay, he doesn't need the bloodline ties anymore. A hint of it here and there is fine, but they need to give him a championship.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I feel like him, like I said, I've said it on here a couple of times. Like I feel like him going right back to the bloodline is regressive.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
So it's like I could see them doing a reunion on down the line, like a la the Shield, But as far as like right now, it's like that would be like a waste of time. Like, why split him away just to put him back to
Exactly.
do just to play Captain Saberhole to the tribal chief that pretty much emotionally abused him for the better part of 3 years.
And it's interesting too because in my opinion, it's kind of like I forgot who was a part of a major tag team and split and did really well by themselves. They always try and do that. Like he's just one of that. He's just one of that in a great cycle. But the IC championship is not his only goal. It's just a stepping stone. Like he's already gone for the bigger belts, and we've seen what happens when he goes to the bigger belts. But like I said, I don't want it to come at the cost of Braun Breaker losing his momentum because Braun Breaker needs that momentum. Like let's be he like
Well,
Jey Uso had it since he left the bloodline. That's fine. It shouldn't cost Braun Breaker anything to lose that championship this early. Let it slow cook itself for that to happen.
well,
And
you
that's
know,
why I think it shouldn't happen on that's why I don't get why it's happening on Raw. I would have preferred even if they did like all right, if we can get a best if we can get part 5 of fucking Carmelo and Andrade, what's fucking wrong with getting like Braun Breaker and Jay until somebody taps out? Like give me like, make it make sense.
Right.
that's
Oh,
what
no, no, I have no rebuttal. Like we're in agreement on that. Like I feel like it shouldn't be a throwaway, not a throwaway, but it shouldn't happen on Raw. But then again, that's Triple H's mo nowadays. It's like they just have this obsession with pay-per-views being 5 matches, and hopefully he breaks it. This is one of those occasions where they're like, okay, break it, because hopefully they show out to the point on Monday to where they're like, okay, yeah, we have no choice but to break this 5 match and put them in a rematch 6 days later or however many weeks. I think 2 weeks later at Bad Blood just to get a definitive winner, because
Right.
yeah, it's not something you just put on Raw full of commercials and then
Hey,
expect us to move on.
This is something that should start the first 30 minutes of Raw on USA. Like no commercial, nothing. Like that
facts.
type of energy. But I just feel like I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens because I'm like that's where I'm lying. Like I don't want Jey Uso to keep getting championship opportunity after championship opportunity off his momentum, even though he don't really need a belt. It's that listen, I deserve something at this point to where don't take it from Braun Breaker because he's fresh, he's new. They're still thinking he's NXT Braun Breaker. He still has to establish himself. Like him losing to Sami Zayn made the most sense at first. Then him winning it at SummerSlam made a lot more sense because Sammy didn't need to hold on to the IC championship that long. It was great when he won it, but it didn't need to hold. It was great that he broke that reign, but it did what it did, and then that was that. But I don't want Braun Breaker to lose his momentum off of that. So
But
I'm
see,
at a tussle with that one.
but see,
Okay.
if I had
Plus, I
like,
can only watch him flirt with Rhea so many times. I'm like, oh, give me a break, y'all. Like seriously.
That's
but
not my demographic, so I don't
she
even comment
acting,
on it.
but she acting, boy, googly eyes and all. I said, okay, oh,
Stop.
you acting like you man, all right,
Uh,
you doing that too well. Oh,
uh,
She a saucy some more nigga, so she like, yeah, I want that. I want you, and I
uh,
need you. Nah, that's not my demographic, so I don't even like you on social media. I see everybody reacting to it. I'd be like, that's not my demographic. So
I'm like, yeah. When she get her belt back, that's where my
speaking of that, didn't I text you
you,
Hi-Lite
mm-hmm,
after? Yeah, I
mm-hmm.
text you during during the main event,
Same
and I'm
rinse and
like,
repeat.
I do not give a fuck about Rhea versus Liv at this point.
Yeah,
Respectfully,
this
they
I'm starting to not give a crap about Damien and Finn anymore either. It's just this rinse
I
and
don't know what
repeat
it
thing.
is. It's the same thing. I
Yeah,
don't
like
know if it's because there's a gap between pay per views or it's like they feel like they. It's like it's more it's getting to that point now where I'm just like, okay,
yeah.
let's just get to the point.
because the intrigue was there for Damian and Finn, like fresh off of that SummerSlam. But gosh, has this dragged where it's like, dog. I mean, Bad Blood's fitting and all, but it's like, man, it felt like forever trying to get to this point. Like you said, the same old cycle of, all right, we're gonna outsmart y'all because we invented this playbook of how to jump people from behind, but then y'all still get bested with the numbers game, and now y'all always end up on the floor and beat down.
I think the
And I'm
problem
like,
with that is the fact that we also get that on SmackDown with the Bloodline.
Mhm.
yeah, that too, exactly.
Mhm.
Too much of us of the same thing gets
And we're getting it with the
with the
Wyatt
White Six.
and the American. What are they? American made, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the same thing with that.
Yeah. There's only
And
so much of
LWO
that
if
you
they
can
have
get.
somebody to
And
feud with these days.
Please don't go into LWO stuff. I'm tired. I'm
exactly,
I'm tired.
exactly.
I'm so tired.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
I'm like
so
JD McGlobal Head is the punching bag, even though his head can't afford any more punches. But I digress.
and you have Finn finally becoming the leader, the Regina George of the entire thing, like he's always wanted, because he always wanted to be Regina George. He's always, well, he's Caddy, and Damian Priest was Regina George. Let's put it that way. So now he finally gets to be in charge of the Mean Girls. And then you got Carlito being Carlito, and then you got these two dry humping each other every fucking episode of Raw. It's it's just
It's to the point where I zone out because I'm like, I know y'all not gonna kiss again
yeah,
because Dom is married as fuck.
fucking listen. You should chicken tendies and like stop dry humping each other on Raw. I think because it was such like so saturated that she was like onto him and stuff like that. And I think also though a lot of people are watching because I'm waiting for her to turn on Dom. There's no way she's not turned on Dom. And it's only gonna go as far as to the next. It's gonna build into the next WrestleMania, obviously. But yeah, she's not there for you, Holmes. She's not. She's there because of somebody else, and that person is the caddy who wanted to be the leader of the pack, and that's Finn. She's
Yeah.
doing him a favor. She killed two birds with one stone. Finn was tired of being under Damien, and he was also tired of Damien looking for second leadership in Rhea. When he was like, I could do it all, and I could do it better than both of you. And who the better to distract from all that than Liv? But in order to defect all that, you had to take away the weakest link, the most manipulated one out of all of them, and turn them into the main person. And that idiot is Dom.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are saturated by this, but they're waiting for it to end that way because the Judgment Day, they're not the most dominant faction in the WWE anymore. It's always going to be the Bloodline because the Bloodline can show up.
Yeah.
The Bloodline took that spot away from Judgment Day when they showed up on NXT last week.
This is true. They can
They're
show
like,
up
we don't
anywhere.
care
They're
where
basically
you
saying they can
are,
show up
what you're
anywhere.
doing. Yeah, we don't care where you are, what you're doing, who you're doing it with. If we not messing with you, we're gonna pop out and show people.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because everybody talk about this Bloodline 2.0. I wouldn't mind them actually just popping up on Raw and beating up all these factions. Beat Judgment Day up, beat LWO up, beat American Made up, beat them all up like you did on NXT. Just beat them all up and just be like, yeah, we running this.
Vaughn said the street trash's initials are STD.
I'm going to bed.
Oh, Vaughn, you are a fool. But nah, I feel like, what was it, 2 weeks into Bad Blood? You got next week and then Bad Blood weekend.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So I need something to be done with just Liv and Rhea by themselves to get me to care. Because at this point, it's like I'm just waiting for the match to be over with. Like nothing is like, oh, let's go. Unless you are a hardcore fan of Liv and a hardcore fan of Rhea, I'm not excited. I'm just like, okay, I'm just ready for the next chapter.
Even then, if you're a hardcore fan of either one, like, are you even still excited knowing the fact that they have not really made you want to be excited out of that. You're just going off your own family.
Good point.
You know,
Very good
it's like
point.
so. I don't know, man. Yeah, but before moving on, brother, something also has to be addressed here. The elephant in the room. My boy Xavier Woods is finally snapping, brother, and I like to see this thing finally play off. That slow burn is finally paying off, even though one nigga messed it all up, darn near. You
Yeah,
know,
we don't talk about that nigga.
but
Big
hey, man,
Tsunami Johnson. If you watch the Public Enemies podcast, you know exactly who we talking about.
dog, like this only had me asking one thing. Please tell me. I know he can't wrestle, but at least can we get him on screen for this? Can we please get Big E in the middle of this somewhere?
But here's my thing, like, what else is there for them to do if they stay the New Day? And
Nothing.
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I'm not saying I'm against the New Day. Love the New Day. They did something for a decade that no one was doing in WWE, and that's hold entertainment momentum for people that need to laugh. They brought kids to the table. They got kids in the supermarkets buying bootios. Listen, it did what it was supposed to do. They are one of the most decorated factions in WWE, the prototype, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But without Big E, what else is left for them? I was against, and I mean completely against Odyssey Jones coming into the whole thing before they pulled them off TV. I was not here for it. It wasn't gonna make me you weren't gonna get me to draw that with a Crayola crayon. Let's be real. Well, because in my mind it's like, where is this going? Like
Man.
that, and
This
that's
how big
why
black nigga say, yeah, go with them.
yeah, like you just like, oh, you're big, you're strong, you could lift people up, put them down. Okay, go with them. Like, no. Like, you have more of a chance of letting Carmelo Hayes come in and make something of that. If you're gonna be like, make it obvious of what you're trying to do with the New Day, you can't do anything like that with something that's authentic. They are an authentic faction to the point where you can have a podcast that literally was trending at one point on Spotify as one of the top 50 in wrestling sports podcasts. That was authenticity. That's
Mm-hmm.
chemistry among a group. You can't just throw anybody into that group. So, like, with Xavier getting frustrated, damn right. Remember, he was the one. This was his idea. This was his baby.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what New Day was supposed to be at first? He said, "We're tired of not getting what we deserve. It's time we take it back." He walked up to Kofi and Big E. He selected two people who he knew were going to help him elevate, and look
Mm-hmm.
at what they did. What else is left after you've done everything you're supposed to do?
And
Like,
that
what?
that description is what makes it the most interesting to me right now with seeing that implosion of how Xavier said that. Because should he be, I brought up this theory to Gresh, like, what was that, like a month ago or so,
Mm-hmm.
when
Right when
Odyssey
they
was still a
started
part
teasing
of it.
it.
I was like, what if Kofi was the one to go heel just to throw everybody off? But now that Odyssey kind of did what he did and messed all that up, scrap that. Going back to Xavier Woods, let's bring in the Seth Rollins from the Shield aspect of this, and how Seth was like, "I'm the architect of this thing, and I'm the one that literally orchestrated all of this." Now, say what you will about the Shield, depending on who all wants to believe what that was at that time and who was really like the true leader or the true orchestrator of what they were. But in the case of Xavier Woods, man, like that is literal fact of what you said. This is like his baby and he created this thing. So him stabbing it in the heart and ending this and being like, no more unicorns, no more bootios, no more pancakes, no more none of that. Right? And seriously becoming this character that we invest in even more to actually get what he now deserves about Jay and him getting his due diligence
Mm-hmm.
to get his first singles championship of some sort so that he's not the forgotten one as commentary kept planting in saying like, oh yeah, he's the one out of the group, and even carrying Cross mentioning, oh yeah, when New Day retires and all that, they'll talk about Big E, they'll talk about Kofi, but are they gonna talk about Xavier Woods? Probably not, because he hasn't done anything out of the three. So it's like, bro, I'm really excited to finally see this trigger pulled and what they're about to do with this, man, because Triple H seems high on Xavier Woods, so it's one of those things where I think he would do it the right way. I don't know how or when, but I'm intrigued to see what they do with him when it's
Hopefully,
time.
that's my only gripe. It's like long as he is a plan. Don't do it just to do it, and then have him floating around for 6 months.
Right.
I need an
Agreed.
actual plan in place, and we need an actual send off. So, like you said, bring in Biggie, bring in like do a big old final hurrah. Like even if it's just a promo, because I know Biggie can't get physical. So even
Right.
if it's just a promo, and they just embrace, and then they have somebody come out and interrupt, and then Xavier turns there, or have Xavier turn during the embrace to kind of like I created this, and I'm going to tear it down, and just walk away, and then just start going there. That's my only thing. Like I'm not against it. That's why that's why on social media I was like, do it. When I was like at Triple, I was like at Triple H, do it. It's not because I was trolling. It's like do it because I'm like, there's nothing left for the New Day to do, and that is a
It really
good thing
isn't,
because
man.
it's like they've done everything. Like we can literally look back at the New Day, 10 years. Some people can't even get that look like us can't even get 10 minutes.
Exactly. They did everything they were supposed to do. Uniquely so. They did everything that they were supposed to do, and that's fine. Um, just don't add no fucking body else. Like, just don't do that.
Just dead it at this point.
Just be you too. Like you guys, and I agree with you, Highlight, because I'm like, listen, bring in Big E maybe to bring that motivational respect, but you also don't want to give hope to the fans that are like, oh, like we want him back on TV, and then he can't get back on TV, and
True.
like,
That'll be more emotional for the heel turn because
right,
they're like
that'd
I
be more
agree.
emotional for it.
he
I
can't he
agree.
can't get revenge on behalf of his brother. Like you can
Exactly.
literally spend the entire heel turn with Woods just rubbing it in Biggie's face, and then
Right.
when he and I'm just throwing it out there, and by some miracle Biggie is cleared in the future. That can be your immediate plan for Big E to get revenge. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much. Like, if they just take their time and really think about it, there's so much they can do post New Day. Just like there was so much they can do post Roman Reigns as world champion in the Bloodline.
No,
Like,
I
once you really sit down and process it, there's so much you can do with it. So, hey, New Day, listen. I'm always like it's in our theme song, bruh.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on. You know it. You know it.
So, hey, man, we yeah. That's I think what else happened on Raw. Speaking of dead things, oh, Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed yeeting people all over the place.
Hey,
um,
what's up with the random brother just getting darted? Like we just some darts now. That's what we just throwing brothers at folk. I like it had to be a brother.
Surprisingly
Oh,
enough, he follows me on social media. He's actually he's training to wrestle. So
oh,
he's a prospect.
that was hilarious. That was just
I bust
hilarious.
out laughing. I said, bro, and then shout out to Taryn on Twitter. And she was like, not the Jazzy Jeff, and I just created a meme of the so
Ah, you broke Ciendo, bro. You broke her. Ah, look. God dang. Oh my gosh,
but
bro.
Raw was actually pretty solid. Raw has been solid for quite a while, so I
yeah,
can give
they
them
have
that.
been. No, I agree. Um, it hasn't lost its dullness since. Um, it's always done great. My great like now my focus though is more the attention was more put on who the changes they made in the announce table. Listen, I'm gonna tell people to leave Joe alone. I'm now a full Joe Tessa advocate. Leave that man alone. He is doing great.
He
Like
is.
last night, I think he finally got into the swing of things. You could see the tone and the excitement of his voice. Now everybody can be Michael Cole now. Now everybody can be excited and have a heart attack and be Booker T. you got to give him a chance. And I think he's doing a great job because his play by play is so clear. Like
Yeah.
it's so clear, and that's what I enjoy. Like that's what makes me like Jim Ross. That's what makes me like, you know, Tony Schiavone. That's what makes me like Michael Cole. Like, be clear with your play by play. That's why I miss Joey Styles. Like Joey Styles was crazy as hell, but his play by play was on point.
True
Like he
that.
was saying
Facts.
some outlandish shit between, but it worked.
But of
Give
course,
Joe the
it
chance.
worked for the time. It worked for the time
It
that it
worked for
was.
the
But
time. It worked for the brand. But give Joe a chance. And I think last night, finally hearing him, I'm like, he's starting to enjoy it. He's doing a great job. Yeah, I didn't want to give him a chance 2 weeks ago. Give him a chance.
Yeah,
yeah, how many times I was like, they was like, "Oh my god, he's terrible." I'm like, y'all acting like y'all were great y'all first day at y'all job.
It's not college football for him. He has to learn. He has to like get into it. And he said that he was like, I'm still in the first swing of things. It was my first night. I actually got excited as I'm watching. Give him a chance. Like, you
I say
know,
give him 2 months and then he'll be good to go. And
yeah.
then honestly, come January, he'll be on SmackDown while Michael Cole is
Goes
on
back
Raw.
to Raw.
So he'll have like 2 hours instead of the 3 hours. So you trust me. Like I feel like if as long as he wants to, I feel like Joe will be around for a long time.
Oh
So
yeah.
Was Raw 2 hours or 3 this week?
Raw was 3 this week.
3. Yeah,
Because
they go.
I normally shut down around like 10 o'clock, so I
I
don't
feel
really.
like all of us shut down around 10 o'clock. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Thank God they're going back to 2.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, because October is gonna be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. into
Thank
the end of
God.
the year, and I'm like,
No more. Like you don't need 3 hours of content.
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Not
like
when you have not when you have two other brands that are 2 hour and do more effectively in 2 hours than they do in 3 hours.
and that's my thing too. It's like if they do on Netflix, I feel like they have more leeway up there. We said it on Thursday's show, like they should literally incorporate to where like or slowly but surely use this last few months of 2 hours as a test to say, okay, we can go 2 hours regularly, but if there's a rare occasion, like a special, bring back the special 3 hours, like slammies and draft stuff like that. Like, don't.
And then also, if you haven't noticed, it's very promo heavy when it's 3 hours.
Mm.
Like it's very promo heavy. Like
Which can
very,
be a
very,
good
very
or
promo
bad thing
heavy.
depending on what point they're trying to get across.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
I watched that. Okay.
Let me double check any notes. Make sure we we got our bases covered. Yeah, we pretty much got everything. We football roundup this week. The Dolphins were trash. Tua, you should probably retire because you got another concussion. But if you don't, be careful. The Eagles beat the Falcons by 1 point in Philly.
No. The
No,
Falcons
I
beat
thought
the Eagles.
No, I'm
by 1
sorry, the
point.
Falcons beat the
yeah.
Eagles.
Now, I know what you were
Damn,
trying
that
to
lets you
do.
know that y'all was supposed to win. That lets you know y'all supposed to win.
DJ gonna get you for that later, bro.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. My bad. And I just saw him earlier. So you know he gonna whoop my ass. But yeah, y'all lost. I literally saw that. I'm like, oh, that's what we doing?
That's what we doing, baby. Yeah. Hey, man, you ain't the only one, man. Look, my Tennessee Titans are trash too, brother. We got a quarterback making boneheaded mistakes that are making highlights for wrong reasons.
You don't live down the street from a team that's literally celebrating 100 years of football and lost their first fucking game. So I want to hear nothing from no one. I want to hear nothing from no one.
Come
I want to hear
on.
nothing from no one.
Hey.
Nothing.
So
Zero.
we
To the
all
point
in.
where you made your highest paid player. You made your highest paid player on the commentary. I want to hear nothing. Nothing.
Hey, come on,
Listen,
sis.
man.
We in
I'm
the
0
same
2
boat.
in fantasy football because of these motherfuckers.
The only thing I care about football is I was sick around the time that the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader documentary came out, so now I'm obsessed with Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders because I didn't realize them bitches have full-time jobs and they do cheerleading They do so much for the Cowboys. They have their better own locker room. They're basically like a fandom within the fandom, and the Cowboys still suck to me. So I don't even want to hear none of that. So I don't even
Speaking of
care.
them Cowboys,
Yeah, they got their ass. They got whooped.
They got their ass beat too.
Yep. Yep.
But
week
listen,
Straight.
2
the
was
the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders got 4 black women on
I'm
their
talking
team, so I'm
about
always going to them salute. But yeah, they got their ass whooped too. So all I'm watching for is the cheerleaders.
straight to the woodshed, baby. Just bah, bah. You know what I'm saying? See you later. I was like, well, I'm glad I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Do you guys talk NXT?
We do.
we talking in passing.
In
Okay.
passing. Yeah, let's see.
Like what we definitely talked about CM Punk.
We're
Yeah,
excited
it was
for what they're lining up for October 1st so far with these, Randy Orton versus Javon is going to be nice when they do that in St. Louis. Punk being a special
They're doing
referee should be interesting.
A-Town Down Under versus
they're doing
Faction.
Grayson Waller effect.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Miz TV for some reason in Chicago.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, Miz TV.
why
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
They
I
make
put
it
on.
seem interesting, so it's almost like something's gonna happen, like somebody's gonna show up or debut or something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like I think that's what it's because it's given that based off how they've been describing it on commentary. But I'm curious though, do you think technically since that is before Bad Blood, you think Drew is gonna interfere somehow with CM Punk's refereeing skills?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I feel like Drew's going to make an appearance on NXT and mess with Punk.
Boy.
If not during the match, after the match.
After, yep.
I hope not. But I give Roxanne her flowers because when she said, I realized I should have been a Drew McIntyre fan. I was in here crying. I was like, wait,
she did
and then
that.
shout out to my homie Pablo because me and Pablo said this. They said they need her to be on some real heel shit. She didn't want to see no high flying bullshit. She didn't want to see no emotional promos. She wanted to see straight gutlessness. This man has went to Florida and spent time with this girl to train her, and you go on the mic and you say some shit like that. You a heel. You done the whole convincing I needed. Don't even try to convince me. Don't do shit for me. You already did it. Like there's nothing else you can say or do that's gonna make me not like your heel run. Like when she said that, I was like, girl, damn. And then when Punk turned around and was like, that's cute. Don't get your ass handed to you in Chicago because I know you will. And it was like the perfect back and forth. It was like when your kid don't get accepted to the school you want them to get accepted to, and they go to some bullshit ass school, and instead of you saying you want to say I'm proud of you, kid, but then you should have fucking got into Princeton. Why the fuck you going to Notre Dame? That type of shit. That's how that tit for tat was for me. Man. So I enjoyed it, and then Julia coming out and him kind of protecting Julia spoke volumes. People need to stop asking for Cora Jade. Leave that girl alone. She's still in heel. But it made me excited for Chicago.
But the key of what you just said is the fact that also knowing that when she tried to attack her like that, he literally even said earlier I don't know Julia, I know you, kind of thing, and it was like to still protect Julia, the person he doesn't know. It was just like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, because he could have been easily dismissive. Like, who?
Man. Yeah, nah.
I thought they were gonna do. I thought he was gonna be the special referee between them two. The way he broke up that segment, so I was like, huh.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. That would have been interesting, huh?
But nah, NXT. Like the reason why we go early is because we try to go to bed on time. But as far outside of that, it's like sometimes some NXT episodes it'd be more than good. So we'd be like, okay, let's just go live, and then I have it on in the background. If something pops off, I'll be like, "Yo, this just happened."
Yeah, it's very build up. Tonight's episode, I feel was more build up saturated because of next week, so it did what it was supposed to do. And then you think about it, it's the last NXT on USA, so they had to build saturate on that. It was a good go home for it was a pretty much it was a really good go home for the
But we got
last
next
USA.
week's. So we got next week. It's the final episode,
Yeah,
Yeah.
is
and then
that's what I'm saying is gearing like with it being one of the final ones,
okay.
it geared up to be nice. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
I'm
got.
looking at tickets. I'm looking at tickets for
Uh-oh.
Chicago because
Chicago, Chicago.
Downtown. Yeah, I mean.
Last thing we do before we get out of here, we're gonna pretty much update our betting odds from last week. Basically, it's not our official preview and predictions, more so like, okay, how do we see this going based off of the build? And that is the match that was just added on SmackDown, and that is the tag team match. Never before, never again, if you will. The undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa and I love you, Solo, Jacob Fatu.
didn't that happen with John and Rock and John Cena?
That's why I used that tagline.
And how did that end up again?
They won,
Mm.
but Roman or Rock turned on John at the end.
I mean, you could just say it. Roman's gonna turn on Cody, but that's a given.
Ah, boy.
So yeah, over Roman turns after the match, under the Bloodline wins.
I just
with Solo pinning Roman.
it would annoy me to see Cody keep losing outside of his championship matches. I think that's why I'm just like, really? Like, ew.
Good point. Real
Like,
good
I'm
point.
tired of that. He consistently loses outside of his title championship reigns. That's not how your champion should look.
I feel like this would be. Remember how I kept saying the last few times? I was like, I feel like this would be a match where it'd be more of a segment than a match. I see somebody debuting.
Listen, they keep adding them like birds to a cage. So they keep
They keep popping up like fruit flies. So yeah, just add another one at this point.
We still listen, Zilla. We still waiting on Zilla,
and hopefully he's ready whenever he's ready.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna take a little time on that.
That's gonna take a little time. This story might be done by the time he gets there.
Look how they're treating Solo and saying he's still not ready. I mean,
even though he's perfectly fine, I don't understand why. Like, I feel like people just hating just to hate.
I know, man. I know, but
no, we don't think Roman is turning. Like Roman, the fun thing about the interesting tidbit that Roman said, he's like, things have changed, but not me. So he's basically saying I'm still a dick. That's basically what he says. I'm still a manipulative dick. So if he does turn, I'll be like, well, he did say I'm still the same.
He did say that.
The only thing that annoyed me about it was the dialogue where it was like Cody was like, I don't want to get involved. And then he got involved. And then Roman was like, this is family business. I don't need nobody. I don't need Cody Rhodes. And then he gave Cody Rhodes the contract to get involved in the family business.
Yeah, it's a little backwards, bro. It's just.
But other than that, yeah. You got any over under? Like how this gonna go? Because my over is this gonna be just a segment and more of a match, and basically it's not even gonna have a clean finish or a no contest.
I could say over on a debut because of Survivor Series around the corner.
Oh yeah, because they are hyping Survivor Series mad crazy now.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna say over on a debut, and possibly over on Roman getting pinned by Jacob over here.
Mm-hmm. How you feel like this is gonna go, Miss Ciendo?
I don't think so. My over would be that Cody and Roman win because it wouldn't be right to hand Roman's first match since WrestleMania over in a loss.
Oh yeah, because that would be two losses in a row.
Yeah, my under is that they do lose, and Roman's like, "What the fuck I come help you for?" And he turns on Cody to reestablish himself as the tribal chief of what he's really back for, and that's that belt. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, he can play nice with Cody all he wants to. He wants what's his back. He's acknowledged himself as the original tribal chief. He
The
wants what
only.
originally made him the tribal chief, and that's what's on Cody's shoulder.
Yeah, because he did say on SmackDown, whether I have my family's Ula follow or not, I am the only tribal chief.
Right. He
Which
doesn't and
kind
he
of
doesn't
devalues the Ula follow.
No, not really. Not really. It's just him saying technically that he is the only one because at the end of the day, before he even got that, we would follow. Going back to that SummerSlam, that infamous SummerSlam return. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
it kind of is like a full circle moment. Remember, he didn't have that title yet, but you knew that was his focus. Like, I'm getting that championship. And I got it. And the rest was history, which then led to the Uber follow in the process. So it's not as devaluing it. I think it's just saying that
I
I don't
think
have
other
that
reason I
back.
said that because it just came off like he was just dismissing it. I'm like,
Mm.
hmm, why are you dismissing it? But yeah, that's just a little nitpick that isn't the end of the world for me.
Hmm.
Um, I just, I can't get with. I feel like there's people that are fans of Solo, so they're gonna want him to go over. But people are even more fans
I'm about to say they
what
don't really Solo ain't really got that many fans. I ain't even gonna hold you.
you'd be surprised though. You'd be surprised because there are a lot of people that were tired of. There are people that say they hate the tribal chief. I don't know why you would dislike Roman Reigns. I don't know what's wrong with you, but there are people that were tired of that. But I don't think Solo's doing anything impactful. So I think that's probably why a lot of people can't get with him.
Well, this is
Because
true,
just right now he's just trying to be Roman.
but which is also true because he does the same mannerisms when he cut the promos. The
Yeah,
only difference is he's more soft spoken as opposed to Roman's
he's
Mufa.
Roman's supposed to
He's
bait.
basically he's Solo's Simba while Roman is Mufasa as far as voice wise.
Hmm.
When Solo says "acknowledge me," you hear Simba, whereas when Roman says "acknowledge me," you hear Mufasa.
Interesting
If you've seen
description.
Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, you understand exactly what I mean.
Oh boy. The Lion
But
King.
other than that, yeah, that is pretty much our show, ladies and gentlemen. We pretty much appreciate you guys rocking with us, rocking with uh, the Queen Siendo as being as our guest. What do you got coming up, and where can the people follow you on the socials?
You can follow me, your honorary wrestling girl, here on Twitter at B Live Via Film. You can also follow me on Instagram. Look me up, Ciando B. Reload.relive. Watch What Happens NXT Season 2 is returning same night as the CW premiere of NXT. So that's returning. A lot to unpack, a lot to do. Gonna be changing the format of the show because there's too many opinions and not enough facts. And that's just what I've basically been working on. Also, do follow Watch What Happens NXT on Instagram. I do a 5 in 5, which I do some of the top 5 moments that happen on NXT. And there's a lot more content coming after because during this hiatus, I did a lot of brainstorming and I said just that everybody's giving opinions and not saying enough facts. So we went back to the drawing board. We've revamped Watch What Happens NXT, and it's going to be a show where I give NXT its flowers, the past and the present. So I'm excited about everything that's coming up, and hopefully having you guys back on there because I know Josh has dabs with me. He knows what kind of mess tone we up there. Hi-Lite, we got to get you back up there as well.
For sure.
So just stay tuned. The calendar's getting posted. So just stay tuned. And thank y'all for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of freedom of speech because I censor myself, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna.
Nah, that's
We're not
the reason why we put Unleashed in the title. So you can
Facts.
like can't nobody censor you up in here. I mean, I work on my profane language from time to
Yeah.
time, but outside of that, yeah, you're free to like. There's no judgment here. That's the reason why this course exists. This safe space exists. It's like, hey, we're free. You can disagree or agree to disagree, but there's no, oh my god, fuck you. You don't know nothing. It's like, no, I want to hear what you got to say. And if we can agree, we can agree. If we can disagree, then we can agree to disagree. That's the way it exists. But yeah, man, we appreciate.
One more
You said what?
thing. One more thing.
What's
If
up?
I see anything freak off related in any type of wrestling promotion, I'm officially calling your mother, and I'm calling the government. I don't ever, and like from today, henceforth from today, keep the name of the freak off out of your mind. I don't ever want to see that again because I know in someone's little brainy promoter
Someone's
mind,
gonna do that. I
somebody's
know.
gonna do it, and I know I'm gonna have to travel to where they are and set the place on fire. Don't do it.
Please don't do it.
Please
Like,
don't do that. It's
Heard
so
it.
insensitive
because
because the situation that's going on right now, that's the stuff you see in the adult film industry. And I'm be real honest about it. It's not a good thing. It's not cute. It's not funny. Don't do it. Don't. I don't even want to see I know somebody already in their college party mode. Don't do that either. And I'm gonna end it with that. Stop.
yes, no, just stop.
That's
Just
no.
stop being nasty. Just stop. Just
Don't.
stop.
Yeah, 100%.
Go to church. How about that?
Pray
Man.
something.
Fast.
Find the
hard,
Lord.
Please.
Like, oh my God.
Go to church.
Nasty bitch. Anyway, yeah, you can hit up Hi-Lite over at Hi-Lite Life at HILITE Life or OTS Media Co. as well as Gresh Digital or Gresh Unleashed for everything that is going on. Ciendo said what she said. You can catch me this coming Thursday on the Public Enemies podcast. The fourth man will be with Graham, CJ, and Ben, the reigning Public Enemies champion. Over there, we will be pretty much talking similar to this, along with what happened on Dynamite. So you're not done seeing me. If you haven't checked out All Shit Here We Go Again on Mondays, you can check that out with Rufus Lala. You can check us out here every Tuesday, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless stated otherwise. And you can also check me out on Thursdays with the Public Enemies podcast. But with that being said, you guys continue to stop being weird, stay safe and vigilant out here in these streets. And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy.
Good
I'm going
night.